A human being should be dynamic in his thoughts. It is only a machine that thinks in a single way. Religious doctrines should not stop scientific reasoning. It is true that every knowledge in the universe is spiritual. Even science, magic, and sorcery came from the spiritual plane. Most people become too scientific to the point that they reject religious teachings. And sometimes most people become too religious to the point that they don't accept scientific inventions and teachings. That is why indoctrination is bad for people. It traps the mind in a pool of words. Words are spirits and words are life. That is why it is good for one to guide their hearts with all diligence, because out of it flows the issues that concerns all their life. The best way for one to think is for the person to think all-rounder. The person will have to think scientifically and also think religiously. Some doctrines do not allow the use of scientific means to solve physical problems. And some doctrines that support scientific means reject every other process of solving human problems. Why do we have to be dynamic in our thoughts? It is important for us to think dynamically because our God is dynamic in his thoughts. From the creation of man, we have different kind of men. We have white men, we have black men. Even in the animals God created, you can see various species of animal. In plants too, various plants. So if our God is a dynamic God, it is necessary for our thinking to also be dynamic. Scientific discoveries, thoughts, innovation, productions, all these things are spiritual, including religion, including magic, and including sorcery, because the world is a spiritual world. It is wrong for a scientist or someone who thinks scientifically to think that those that are religious or those that think religiously are wrong, or the magical people should think that the scientific people are wrong, or the sorcerers should think that those that are religious or scientific are wrong, because all these things are spiritual. God that created the universe is skilled in every knowledge and every aspect of life. In science, in mysticism, in religion, it is the same God that controls everything. And his sons are in charge of most religions we have today. That is why it is bad for your religious thoughts to stop your scientific reasoning, or your scientific thoughts to stop your religious reasoning. Everything that is coexisting is part of the spiritual. The true God is not a religious God, but a God that works with relationship. So it is wise not to think that every other aspect of life is wrong. Working with God does not have to do with whether he is right or whether he is wrong. Working with God has to do with your loyalty to God.